Stephen, welcome to the program. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Oh, it's a great honor. Stephen, we were talking a little bit during the break about the government shutdown, so-called. It's starting to hit home for people, right? The flight delays this weekend because of the shortage of air traffic controllers resulted in all kinds of flight delays. We see the Democrats holding firm. We see Trump now calling for the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster because the Democrats are going to do it anyway as soon as they're back in power. What's your assessment of where we are right now on this issue, and where do you think we should be going?
Well, I was just on with Congressman Tim Burchett on my show from Tennessee, and I asked him to confirm a rumor. Ted Cruz and others are saying that the government could reopen as early as this weekend. I said, wait a minute, after holding out, they're just going to suddenly reopen? I guess Ted Cruz has got some insider information that they've purposely been using the SNAP program to leverage against President Trump. Why? Because of the New Jersey governor race that is happening, as well as the New York City mayor race. So they're trying to stack the deck in their favor. They're trying to get their people mobilized to get them out. And then ultimately, they've kind of run out of playing cards or justification to keep the government closed. But right now, the majority of the country, according to polling data, blames the Democrat Party. Their approval rating has gone down. Now, President Trump's approval rating has also gone down. So what they're weaponizing against him through the mainstream media has been working, but I believe he will bounce back. I think most people can see this for what it is. The government is leveraging hungry children in order to get money for illegal immigrants. They just sued to block the GOP from getting the SNAP benefits data. Why? Because they don't want the American people to know that there are over 10 million illegal immigrants getting taxpayer-funded food stamps. That would look really, really bad. So, I mean, otherwise, why do you try to hide stuff? Bring it out into the sunlight, prove that it's not real. I think they are worried that not only are the taxpayers going to be mad that their money is going to illegal immigrants, but when they find out that illegals are getting more money for food than American citizens, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah, yeah. This is a really interesting political dynamic here. So Democrats, this is their hill to die on. Healthcare, taxpayer funded for illegals. Food stamps, taxpayer funded for illegals, more than for American citizens. This is shaping up to be really interesting. Stephen, there's some very bizarre things happening in the political realm, like the New York mayor race that you mentioned. It looks like Mamdani is actually going to win. I mean, what's your assessment? You talk to a lot of people, a lot of very smart people about what's happening in our country. What's your assessment of where the Democratic Party is at? What does their future look like? Do they reverse course from this radicalism, or do they just keep it pedal to the metal?
Well, Nancy Pelosi just announced that she's gone. So you have some of the top people that were kind of centrists in the party, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, others. So Schumer is battling right now to not be primaried by AOC. You've got most of the party on the Democrat side. If they don't keep going further and further to the left, meaning more money for illegals, more money for trans agenda, more money for LGBTQ pride stuff to be taught to our children, they are going to lose. So the centrists can no longer hold back the dam of the progressives. So they're going to end up losing to the far left. This is one reason I believe that they're keeping the government shut, is you got Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer that are more afraid of their own political party leadership than their voters, and so they're keeping this closed. Now, as far as Mamdani, I do believe that he is going to win. Polly Markets is absolutely predicting that, so I'm not going to bet against that. Is that what New York City really wants? Well, I guess if he ends up getting the majority, then that's what they get, and they're going to have to live with the consequences of whatever he does. As for me, I would never want someone who is a self-proclaimed socialist, anti-Semite person running my neck of the woods. So I worry for New York City. I think they're going to lose a lot of wealthier taxpayers. I think you're going to see businesses moving out, just like they moved out during COVID under Gavin Newsom. So we'll see what ends up happening in New York, but I do believe he is going to win.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're correct. And a lot of those wealthier taxpayers are actually coming down here to Florida, which I don't know what to think about that. We've got a lot of popular shirts and bumper stickers now. It says, "Don't New York my Florida." So we'll see how that goes.
We had the same thing during COVID. Our housing prices jumped by 60 to 70% because you had all of this money flooding in from California. And then we had bumper stickers that said, "Don't California my Utah."
Right. Great minds think alike. So,
Yep.
kudos to Utah. You guys have a lot going for you. I do want to get to some of what's happening in Utah because I know you actually went to the place where Charlie Kirk was shot. You are following this pretty carefully. What do you make of what's been happening there? What's going on with the trial? Of course, they're trying to keep the cameras out and do it all in secret. What do you make of what's happening in Utah right now with this obviously very sensitive trial?
Yeah, so I've been to the murder scene twice. I believe I've done some of the very best coverage. Now, anyone that wants to immediately blame this on Israel or say that the FBI is covering this up, you're not going to like what I have to say over there. I believe that they've run not a perfect, but a very good investigation. And the state of Utah has actually been leading the charge more than the FBI itself. And so I believe they have a very good case that they are going to be bringing. Now, as far as the changes that have happened, I absolutely want cameras to be in there. As Erica Kirk said, there were cameras on my husband when he was killed. Why can't there be cameras on the person they believe shot him? So I believe that we deserve transparency. I believe that we deserve to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of what both sides present. You're going to have those trying to get the death penalty or at least life in jail against Tyler Robinson, pushing very, very hard. You're also going to have his defense team pushing extremely hard, bringing in their experts to try to say he wasn't there or he didn't pull the trigger or he was part of a group but didn't act alone. You're going to see all kinds of crazy information come out. But as of right now, that they're saying, okay, when he does come to court, if there are going to be cameras, he deserves, like OJ Simpson, like others who have had major in the public, he deserves to be in regular civilian clothing when he's on camera versus a jumpsuit or a suicide vest. I've got mixed feelings about that, but at the end of the day, I believe they have a very strong case with a lot of evidence against this guy.
Excellent. And Stephen, on another issue, one of Charlie Kirk's friends, Tucker Carlson, is basically blowing up the media universe today. There seems to be something of a circular firing squad going on among conservatives, those lining up with Tucker, those lining up against Tucker. You've got the Heritage Foundation thrown into the mix. What's your assessment of this? What does it mean for conservatism? What does it mean for the alternative media landscape? If you watched the interview with Fuentes, did you have any thoughts about it?
I was able to watch a majority of it. I haven't been able to finish, just like I'm 2/3 of the way through Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, but it's a 3.5 hour interview. Tucker Carlson was around 2 hours. I don't know anything about Nick Fuentes. People seem to be allowing him to come on and speak his mind, which I guess is an American value. But there is this division over the Israel situation, over Charlie Kirk, over Charlie Kirk's Israel position. So it's been interesting and disappointing for me at the same time to watch. But as far as Tucker Carlson goes, I feel like he's a very good journalist. He definitely has a chip on his shoulder about being lied to get into war in the Middle East. So then I think that colors his perspective on the Israel-Gaza situation. It colors his perspective on, is Trump doing enough for America first? Or by helping foreign countries, is he putting America last? So I think in the end, a lot of these things will work themselves out. But I've been very shocked at how much Charlie Kirk's death has kind of put a split in the GOP, and you're seeing people take sides where, Charlie Kirk was very good at bringing people together. Will the GOP survive this? I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very interesting. I have a feeling Charlie would have been deeply disappointed to see these divisions that have emerged. We just interviewed Congressman Randy Fine last week, showed some of those clips on this program today. And over the weekend, he was at the Republican Jewish Coalition saying Tucker Carlson is, I guess, the biggest threat to Jews. So we're seeing this incredible division now in the Republican Party. And yeah, we'll have to see where this goes. Stephen, I want to ask you just on kind of a broader, big picture level. Where is our country headed? Are you encouraged by what you're seeing? I love your program. You had a very interesting individual on just recently, Greg Bernstein, from former intelligence operative, did a lot of work exposing the Venezuelan involvement in voter fraud. Do you think that is playing a big role in what's happening in our country? And where do you think we're going as a nation? Are you optimistic about where we head from here?
Okay, so I had Patrick Byrne, the former CEO of Overstock, on. He was the one that was pushing or briefing President Trump that the 2020 election had been stolen. He was one of the only people not sued, and the January 6th committee did not go after him. I find that very interesting, right? But he paid over $80 million over the course of multiple years to work with former CIA analysts and auditors, with people that have had New York Times bestselling books like Ralph Paluzzo. But yeah, Gary Bernstein, Patrick Burns, Ralph Paluzzo, and others, they have all come forward saying, listen, there is more going on in Venezuela than what the Trump administration is telling us. All of a sudden, we've got the largest aircraft carrier in our fleet in the Caribbean. We've got over 5,000 men and women in uniform ready to go at the drop of a hat. It was leaked that President Trump has given permission for the CIA to infiltrate Venezuela. And now you've got the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, saying, hey, we haven't been rigging elections, and we're willing to give up to $1 trillion in assets to the United States. We'll drop our relationship with China in order to align with the United States. We'll drop our relationship with Iran. We'll distance ourselves from Russia. So there is something big going on. There's a $50 million bounty on the head of Nicolas Maduro. You've got many in the GOP and a few in the Democrat Party saying they wouldn't be shocked if he's taken out or if he suddenly flees to Russia. So there's a lot going on. I don't think that this is just over, can we get cheaper oil? Because we've got more oil than Saudi Arabia, and President Trump is the most willing president to pump it out of the ground. So I believe that there's a lot going on with human trafficking, drug trafficking, cartel control over Mexico and Venezuela, the oil fields, and yes, rigging elections with taxpayer money. I think it's all going to be coming out very soon. Microplastics are everywhere in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. It's awful. Their effects are multiplying, wreaking havoc throughout our body. It impairs our heart, our lungs, even our bones. Our bones are the framework of our body, fueling movement, balance, overall fitness. Scientists have also found that the accumulation of microplastics has severe consequences on the amount of muscle mass we retain. Even if you eat clean or avoid packaged foods, exposure to these detrimental particles is unavoidable. They infiltrate our system, cut the gut lining, or disrupt our ability to maintain daily health and strength. A healthy gut is your first line of defense to fight back. Recent human studies have found that there are strains of probiotics found only in kimchi that absorb and excrete microplastics. These probiotics are the armor for our gut to destroy and flush out the harmful toxins. Now, defend your body. Restore your gut natural balance with the power of Kimchi One. All the benefits of kimchi in a convenient capsule form. In a world full of plastics, give your gut the protection it deserves. Today, you can get an exclusive offer by clicking the link below or use code Gardner for 25% off. For an even better deal, call my friends at Brightcore for up to 50% off your order and free shipping. Call them at 888-908-4425. Again, 25% off if you click the QR code or the link below, or call them. 50% off plus free shipping. Do it today.
Yeah, I hope so. I was just with Patrick Byrne and General Flynn a few days ago, and we talked about this very issue, and they know a lot. I shared my thoughts in a very extended interview with Greg Hunter that just dropped over the weekend, folks. So if you want to see a little bit about what's happening in Venezuela and Latin America, go check that out. And also check out Stephen's interview with Greg Bernston. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, Stephen. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting that out there. We're down to just a couple minutes left. I do want to encourage people to go watch your show. You really have some great content. What's the best way for people to do that? I know you've got over 2 million subscribers on YouTube, but I know you're also on Rumble and other places. What's the easiest way for people to watch your shows, listen to your shows, and follow your work?
If they just search Stephen Gardner, they're going to see this face. So that's the that's the easiest way to find me. But yeah, I love helping people understand the truth. I try to be as close to neutral as I can. Of course, I'm a little bit biased being a conservative Christian. But yeah, we've got some of the best guests around the country and internationally that I'm just blessed that they say yes to come on the show. But I just love helping people understand what's really going on in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and you do a great job, Stephen. I told you, I'll tell our viewers now, our listeners. I went on your show a couple months ago, and one of my neighbors came up to me. I didn't even realize she was political. She says, "I saw you on Stephen Gardner's show." I said, "That's really cool." Small world. Stephen, thank you for what you do. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a real joy. It's an honor to have you on the program, and I hope we can talk to you again soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, folks, go check it out. The Stephen Gardner Show. Really, really great information. He's talking to some of the greatest, most insightful voices out there on a consistent basis. If you want to know what's happening in this country, turn off the TV, turn off the fake media, go turn on the Stephen Gardner Show. And of course, stay tuned here to the Sentinel Report. Go sign up for our newsletter at libertysentinel.org and stay with us. We're going to be right back after this quick break.